Welcome to the Rules Confirmations and Public Elections. It is Tuesday, March the 19th. We're just a couple of minutes behind. We do have a quorum with myself, Councilmember Cash, Councilmember Johnston, and Councilmember Toombs here. We're going to go ahead and get started. We had no one that signed up for public comment. Is there anyone here that wants to speak? All right. With that, we'll move on. I do have a consent agenda. If anything needs to be pulled, please let me know. First one up is RS 2024-299 by Sepulveda, a resolution approving the election of certain notaries public for Davidson County. Next up is RS 2024-320 by Councilmember Evans, a resolution recognizing the Nashville Fire Department employee Marcus S. Bagwell Sr. as 2023's EMT of the Year. RS 2024-321 by PrepT, a resolution recognizing Ambassador Dr. Bobby Jones. RS 2024-323 by Porterfield, a resolution to honors and commend Metro Nashville Public Schools on being recognized as a national leader in post-pandemic academic recovery. RS 2024-324 by Councilmember Ewing, a resolution marking the anniversary of the Covenant School shooting on March 27, 2023, honors the victims and recognizes the actions of the Covenant School staff, first responders, and the Nashville community. RS 2024-325 by Benedict, a resolution recognizing the 100th anniversary of Inglewood Baptist Church. RS 2024-326 by Ellis and Stiles, a resolution recognizing the 20th anniversary of the Southeast Nashville Egg Hunt and Festival event. RS 2024-327 by Hill, a resolution recognizing March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility in Nashville and Davidson County. RS 2024-328 by Stiles, a resolution recognizing March 12, 2024 as Equal Pay Day in Nashville and Davidson County. RS 2024-329 by Allen and Bradford, a resolution recognizing Earth Hour 2024 on Saturday, March 23, 2024 from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And then bills on second reading on consent. BL 2024-256 by Porterfield and Sepulveda approves amendment number 1 to contract number 450614 between the Metro Government and Election System and Software LLC to expand the contract term an additional 60 months and to increase the value of the contract. BL 2024-257 by Porterfield and Sepulveda approves amendment number 1 to contract number 450613 between the Metro Government and Election System and Software LLC to expand the contract term an additional 60 months and to increase the value of the contract. Is that the same thing?
It's different numbers.
Got
different
it.
contract
BL 2024-261 by Sepulveda, an ordinance readopting the Code of Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, Tennessee, prepared by the Municipal Code Corporation, including supplemental and replacement pages thereof, containing certain ordinances of a general and permanent nature enacted on or before August 15, 2023. Anything that needs to be pulled off of consent? All right, can I get a motion?
Move the consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Why you gotta be like this? Any non-voting? All right. 5 in favor, 0 against. 0 not voting. All right, going back to RS 2024-318 by Councilmember Johnston, a resolution expressing support for the Tennessee General Assembly legislation for an honorary renaming of a portion of Nolensville Pike as Rick Schwartz Wild Works Way. Can I get a motion?
Moved.
Second.
Councilmember Johnston.
Thank you. So this resolution is just showing local support for renaming a road or a portion of a road that the state prefers to have local support for that. That's all it is.
And it's just honorary?
It's-
So I didn't put it on consent because I had a question. I know that this is specifically for this portion of it, I do want it to go on the record, right, that it's for the naming, not for any of the legislation that it's currently on.
Correct. This is just the aspect of the honorary renaming of the portion of Nolensville Pike.
And I do want to note that Nolensville Road does look very different from what it used to in years past, and I think it's great that we're that it's a honorary renaming for someone who has been very instrumental on Nolensville Pike. I think it would be prudent on us, especially for the council members who represent part of Nolensville Road, to also remind the state, right, that as we look forward as to what Nolensville Pike will look like, that we take that into consideration, not with just transportation bills, but also future renamings in honorary stretches of it. I think that it makes sense to do this, especially for that given part being the zoo. But I just wanted to put that on the record, see if you could pass that along. Are there any questions?
I'm just gonna say it's supposed to be a surprise, so whoever's watching at home, shut your mouth. He doesn't know that he knows Wild Works Way, because they did a whole thing, but he doesn't know that Rick Schwartz is in front of it, so so everybody just zip it.
I hope he didn't read the agenda. Yeah.
I doubt he did, honestly.
All right. Any questions or comments? All right. Can I get we already did a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any not voting? 5 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. All right. We move on to elections and confirmations. First one up is Board of Education election to file a vacancy for School Board District 5 by TK Fain, nominated by Councilmember Terry Vo. Ms. Fain, are you here? She's not here? We're gonna move that to the heel. Does anyone know if she plans on coming? Can someone close that door?
I'm texting her now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, council members, for joining us. Committee just got out. All right. Next up is Arts Commission appointment of Mr. Donald Harding III for a term expiring March 4th, 2028. Mr. Harding, hi. You want to move your chair to the center?
You could get that through.
All right, Mr. Harding, would you like a bus pass or a parking validation?
Parking validation. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here. Do you currently live in Davidson County?
Yes, I do.
Do you serve on any other metro boards and commissions?
No, I do not.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving on this board?
My name is Donald Hardin III. I go by Trey Hardin. I am from Nashville. I grew up here. I went to high school here. I left for 4 years to go to school and came back. I actually worked at the Arts Commission for 5 years as a public art project coordinator and manager. And I left about 2 years ago. And I've been working recently at managing the arts at the airport program. And also I work for Don Hardin Group. We do construction management. And I'm also currently working on the North Nashville Transit Center project, helping coordinate the public art for that project. So I'm trying to stay pretty well connected with the arts community, even though I'm no longer an employee of Metro. This would be my first time serving on a Metro commission. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm aware that, you know, it's an important time for the Arts Commission, and yeah, I hope that what I can offer is effective and important at this time. So.
Thank you. I have 2 questions for you before I go to the committee. So thank you for your willingness to serve. My first question is, will you commit to promoting equity throughout anything that comes before you while serving?
Yes, absolutely. I think particularly interested in serving in the Committee for Anti-Racism and Equity within the Arts Commission, and being involved in that is, I think, what I hope for. But yes, absolutely.
Right. And then you did previously work at the Arts Commission. In your opinion, from your experience, what were some of the concerns that you think that we need to be focusing on, or maybe that we are missing, that we need to address in the arts department?
I'm aware of kind of some of the challenges now. I think there's been a lot of turnaround since I was there, so almost the entire staff is different, and even the commission is almost entirely different. So I can't speak exactly to, what it was like then and what it was like now. I think personally, my decision to leave was based on my kind of personal, professional life and where I was at and working from home and COVID and a lot of different things led to that. I think it's important. It's going to be hard. I think, when things are pushing the boundaries and the status quo, it's not easy. And I recognize that that's where it's at. But I think keeping the course, continuing to listen to community members, and a lot of people are very passionate about the arts. And as we grow, we're getting more and more artists. And I think that that's something that we need to focus on and, save room to grow with the arts. Not, without saying too much about my opinions of budget-wise and things like that. But we have to put that at the forefront as a priority. I'm trying not to get too deep into commission things, but does that answer your question?
I mean, we know that it looks very different from when you were there, so I think it's important that you'll bring that perspective to the board. It's just, as we move forward, we know that we have a lot of issues we have to address, so, wanting to make sure that you're up for the challenge, I think, is important.
Yeah, and I think, if I may add, just staff, I think a lot falls on the staff. It's not a large staff, and they have a lot of people to be accountable for, a lot of organizations who need them, and we have to support them. I think when politics and commission business starts to kind of leak into the staff, it can be impactful on their experience, and it can be hard to really focus on serving the community through the arts in that space. So I think that's a perspective that I think I felt a little bit in the past, and I think supporting the staff and making sure they have the tools they need to do the work is really important.
Great. Any questions from other committee members? Can I get a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? Great, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not.
I'll do the chair.
Kay is here.
Huh?
Sue is here.
Oh, okay.
See who's up next.
All right, up next, TK Bain, nominated by Councilmember Terry Vo for the Board of Education. Election to fill a vacancy for School Board District 5. Ms. Bay, would you like a parking validation or a bus pass?
Parking validation.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you currently live in Davidson County?
Yes, I do.
Do you serve on any other boards and commissions?
No,
Metro
I do
boards?
not.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving?
I am a parent. My son attends Procon, so that'll be the district that I'll be serving. I'm passionate about kids and the community and just overall being of service. I've worked with other organizations for after-school programs, providing mentorship, and I see that there's a need for people who that not only have a professional background, but just a need of service and an advocate of parents. We don't have a PTO in that district at all, and so hopefully I'm hoping by being a parent and having that morale with some of the parents that I can get that started.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions from committee members? Yes.
As you know, we in metro schools we've had a number of number of charter schools that have either been approved by our board or by the state board, and we're leasing at least 8 of them to metro-owned buildings. I'm just kind of curious about how you feel about, like, if there are vacant buildings in metro schools, what should be our priority with them? Finding other schools to lease them, nonprofits, sell them? If there are some that have historic history that is important that the community feels is important to maintain. Just wondering if you have any thoughts about how we should approach our physical assets.
From the physical aspects approach, if it has a historical value, I think that we should in all honesty, preserve it. If it could be additional facilities for MNPS, that would be awesome, because I do think that there are some outlets we could use, such as some STEM programs or art programs, and so I think if we could find a use for MNPS students in those buildings, that would be awesome. But I am not in any kind of way against utilizing those buildings for charter schools.
Thanks.
Okay, yes.
Chair, I just think it's important to note that Ms. Fain did win her school board primary and is unopposed in the general election, so congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next is, I think Mr. Alan Haney is being deferred.
Should we defer now?
Yeah.
Move to defer one meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Is it
Any
just,
not voting?
is it just one meeting, or is it,
It says just defer.
okay.
Is he being deferred indefinitely?
Yes, because he has made a commitment out of state for the next 60 days. So we're going to revisit that. I've left a message for the mayor to see if we just withdraw him, and so yes.
So we need to withdraw him, but
I think that it was supposed to be a deferral till the second meeting in June.
Yeah, but we didn't want, according to Austin. So yes, let's just defer right now.
defer one meeting or until June? I mean, we have to rescind the vote. We just took a vote. So motion
Motion to
to,
reconsider.
can I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? All right, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. So deferring to the, which meeting?
I would leave that up to the mayor's office to make that determination, whether it was one meeting or till June.
I don't think we can
I
do
was
it till
told.
June. That's too far out, is what I was told.
So we're just gonna withdraw.
Can we just withdraw?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
can I get a motion to withdraw?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? All right. 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting to withdraw. Next is the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission appointment of Mr. Harold Martin to a term expiring February 12, 2028. Mr. Martin, are you here? I'm gonna move that to the heel.
Thank you.
Next is the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission appointment of Mr. Nathaniel McDowell for a term expiring on February 8, 2027. Is Mr. McDowell here?
They must be on the same bus, I don't know.
All right, or they're all biking here. All right, we're gonna move that to the heel. They gotta bike faster. All right, next is the same board for Liz Riggs. Is Ms. Riggs here?
She is deferred until August 2nd. She's out of town.
She's deferred
She should-
until when?
to April 2nd.
Can I get a motion to defer?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? All right. Deferring until August 2nd,
April.
April 2nd. All right. 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. All right. Next is Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission appointment of Ms. Courtney Ross for a term expiring on February 21st, 2028. You are here. Did you bike?
I did not. I might not have made it here.
All right, would you like a parking validation?
Parking, please. Thank you.
I was rushing to get here. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Ross, do you currently live in Davidson County?
I do.
Do you serve on any other metro boards and commissions?
I do not.
All right, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving?
Great. I'm Courtney Ross. I've been in Nashville for longer than anywhere else, but I'm from Memphis. I moved to Nashville in 1996. Had a very short stint away in Texas for 4 years, but I've been back since 2006. And I live in the 12 South area, so I guess my interest would be both personal and professional. On a personal level, I have 2 teenagers. One is very brave on his bike and loves to venture out. Like I said, we live in 12 South. He goes to the soccer stadium. He drives to the pump park, Watkins Pump Park and back. And I'm a nervous wreck. But he makes it, and I've learned so much from him about how it is to get around, the good and the bad. And so far he's been very safe. And then a daughter that's 12 that also enjoys riding around. We love giving them that freedom. And then on a professional standpoint, I work for Amazon. We are a very large employer downtown. We've committed to 5,000 jobs in downtown. So as a major employer, of course, it's of interest to us to make sure that our employees also have ways to get around. We have a large bicycle storage room. We'd love to see it even more full, just with different options to get around. We've also done a lot of work in affordable housing, and we know that affordable housing and transit work so closely together. And so I'm just really interested in serving in this capacity.
All right, thank you so much for your willingness to serve. I do have a question.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when we're talking about pedestrian access and bike accessibility, it's mainly concentrated in certain regions. So my question is, would you commit to pushing strategic access across the county?
Absolutely. Yes.
And then there's always there's not a lot of access when it comes to or outreach is a better word, when it comes to immigrant communities, minority communities, when it comes to bicycle access and promoting that type of transportation.
Yes.
And I think it's important to have language access when we are talking about any strategic plans or recommendations, and that we always keep, minority communities in our outreach strategies. So would you commit to doing that while serving?
Yes, absolutely. I did neglect to say what I do for Amazon. I lead our community engagement efforts, and so it's all of our corporate giving and all the community engagement efforts. So I work with a lot of Connexion and a lot of all the nonprofits in the community, and so I certainly hear that loud and clear on a daily basis. So yes, I would commit to that.
Great. Any other questions from committee members? Yes.
When it comes to safety, and I'm mainly thinking about the safety of bicyclists and pedestrians, but also people who drive.
Yeah.
There are kind of 2 schools of thought on how we can improve upon that. One is the way that we build roads and right-of-ways, and the other is how we proactively hold drivers and, to a lesser extent, bicyclists and pedestrians accountable for the bad behaviors or bad decisions. I guess, what do you think about the kind of balance of the 2, and are we doing both of them, where can we improve on both?
Improve on that. I think I'll learn a lot serving on this and hearing all the different stories that, I hear, but when reading the news. So I think we just have to balance that, and but I think you're more vulnerable on a bike and more vulnerable walking, and so it certainly, there has to be, consideration as to who's more vulnerable, who has right-of-ways, what that looks like in terms of the development of that as well. So, but definitely, there's got to be enforcement and rules of the land, if you will. But I definitely think there's different levels of vulnerability when you're out there.
Sure.
We have to accommodate for all.
Great. Any other questions? Can I get a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you so much. Next is the CATV Special Committee appointment of Ms. Cassandra Easley for a term expiring on February 6, 2027. Ms. Easley, would you like a parking validation or a bus pass?
Parking would be great.
Do you currently live in Davidson County?
I do.
Do you serve on any other metro boards and commissions?
I don't.
All right, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving?
That's very easy. I'm a second-generation media person. My dad was Bill Easley. He was the first African-American journalist of a major newspaper in the southeast of the country. So I ended up going into the media, too. He was with the Net and USA Today. I come from a household of people fighting for causes. My mom was a lobbyist for education with the PTA and parliamentarians. So on one end, I had the media person, and the other hand, I had the person that was out there lobbying for underprivileged kids. I ended up going newspaper, radio, television, broadcast, and ended up managing TV stations here in Nashville. And so I've worked closely with different cable systems and general managers of cable systems, understanding franchises and franchise fees. I was the general manager here, being the first African-American general manager of a TV station in the state of Tennessee. I had to learn a whole lot about how to interact with different broadcast entities. I've worked with United Press International, NBC, as well as Fox and Sinclair Broadcasting. So I have decades of experience understanding the broadcast industry, understanding franchise fees, working closely with general managers of different cable systems, whether it was Viacom, whether it was, at the time, it was Intermedia, Cable, Viacom, Paramount, any of those cable systems. I know about Xfinity here in the market. Xfinity is, of course, Comcast is the largest in the country. They're based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And a lot of things that's going on as relates to how cable systems charge fees to broadcast systems. The must-carry laws that anytime you are a full-time broadcaster, there's the must-carry laws, and they have to abide by those things. Also, I understand the importance because Mayor Bredesen at the time appointed me to the board for Community Access TV. It was just CAT TV at the time. And then it became NECAT. Well, at that time, they didn't have funding for 12 years. So I met with Bredesen. They never had funding for Community Access TV at the time. And I talked with him. What I did is I did a research to see what other cities were comparable to Nashville and noticed that they were getting more funds for their education, public access, and least access channels than other cities. You look at cities like Little Rock, and in some parts of Pennsylvania, they were getting over $500,000 from the cable systems. So what I did is, the board, I told them, I says, let me step down. I worked as executive director, worked out of the Comcast, it was Viacom facilities at that time. And what I ended up doing is I was able to secure funding from the mayor's office, and the first time it had ever done. And that funding is now the reason they have NECAT, is because I was able to secure that funding. So when it comes to cable and franchise fees and anything broadcasting-wise, I think I understand that pretty much. So that's why I wanted to be on this board, plus I'm in the media still, so.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Johnston?
I just can't, she clearly has no idea what she's talking about.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding, but I don't see her, am I missing it?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it
So I'm
either.
just hoping that we don't run into a snag. Do we have her application and all that fun stuff?
That was sent some time ago.
I was advised by the clerk earlier today that all questions.
Everything is good, it's just not in the packet. Okay, I just wanna make sure, because otherwise it causes problems. So I'm good, I just wanted to make sure that we've dotted our i's.
Alright, any other questions? Alright, can I get a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, appreciate it, thank you.
Alright, Equalization Board reappointment of Mr. Derek Starks for a term expiring on April 14, 2026. Mr. Starks, would you like a parking pass or a parking validation or a bus pass?
Validation, please.
Alright, go. Do you currently live in Davidson County?
Yes.
Do you serve on any other boards and commissions besides the one you're being reappointed to?
No.
Alright, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're interested in serving once again?
Originally from Bowling Green, Kentucky, been in Nashville since probably 2003. Career banker, commercial real estate broker, since leaving banking. The Equalization Board, of course, all you all have heard, is a real very expressful board. So we have a lot of fun there with a lot of the tax reps that come in and share their values. And so I've been doing that since I was appointed with the Dean administration. So I want to continue that. I will love assisting with Vivian Wilhoit and their, we actually operate out of their building. So we have fun, but still interested in all these years, and it's a way to give back.
Great, thank you so much. Any questions from committee members? Can I get a motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any not voting? 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you so much. All right, we're going back to, let's see. Like, where is it? We're going back to Mr. Harold Martin. Is he here?
No, I think we're gonna have to defer the vote.
Defer one
I think they're
meeting for
checking
both.
the other,
Second.
hold on.
They're not,
There's no one next
yeah.
door. I was
Okay.
checking to see if
So can I got a motion to defer both for one meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any not voting? All right, 7 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting for a one meeting deferral. That concludes our agenda. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we're adjourned.